Hey there, welcome to the show. Uh, Bald asshole, just a concept. Uh, just to call attention, just a show, a podcast thing. Basically, just to develop cultural and entertainment knowledge around what's going on here and there, media wise, television wise, radio, internet wise. So let's start with the Oscar slap. Let's start with that. What happened at the beginning of the year? The year is 2023, and we started the year with some massive news from that covered everything for like a whole month. And that was the Oscar slap that Will Smith throw at Chris Rock. So it had a massive impact, and not only worldwide, but in terms of respect and how it shows how much the Sims actually rule the world, and uh, how how easy it was for women to take over power, take over politics, take over economics, just because there are a bunch of Sims out there to justify their actions. In this case, justify a mistake, huge mistake. I mean, brother to brother. It's just. I mean, and the hypocrisy and everybody it just went along with the whole fucking thing. It was just some nasty fucking thing, but whatever, you know. That was a thing to learn from in terms of culture. Like everybody knows that Chris Rock got slapped. He got he got he got to be made a bitch in that show, and he just took it and move along. You know, it wasn't even worth for him to do something more than have a reaction to it. It was just really confusing. It's just like I said, it's just like what Sims do. Like Sims are everywhere, simping for women. Instead of simping for women, if they would simp for themselves or for something else, it's just a natural thing that the simping does. You know, it changes character, makes mistakes. Um, I mean, makes the person made the mistake being in the wrong uh, is, is 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 something that you cannot being in the wrong and acting like it's right. That's kind of like the Hollywood simping thing that they do with the movies. Not talking only about the Oscars, but they do with the movies nowadays. I don't know, man. Like movies are goofy and funny at the beginning, like midterms, kind of a plot to entertain you, and then they move along and just put the guy as a simp, like 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 the joke is he's ruled by his girl. That's the joke, that the girl sort of abuse him, and he's just a good guy that he takes it, and that's just funny on the screen, but in real life, would you take that? I mean, come on. It doesn't have to be both ways, or extreme ways, but that Oscar slap just showed how deep into hypocrisy, not abuse or like simping or mandatory. Uh, Both sexes are in terms of polar opposites, but it just shows you how hypocrisy is just at any sort of level. Like mainly, it's been there in entertainment forever, and even then, even in that Oscars lap, some people took it was like 50-50, like real. I mean, come on, like real niggas know that that shit was wrong, you know. Brother to brother, justify some stupid act, you know, some stupid action, get offended by it. It was just dumb, you know, and no reason to get physical, assuming that you could get hit back. You know, it was just something like to put you in a position worldwide, like you don't show your manners, You're a grown man. I mean, you are known, worldwide known, and and you know, you kind of lose some self-respect. Like if somebody sees you there on the street, like he could call you a motherfucking pussy for fucking slapping Chris Rock. You fucking abusive bitch. I'll make you my hoe. And well, that's just what I'm thinking. People say to Will Smith, you know, but that's the hypocrisy right there, and not only in the entertainment but worldwide. You know, like in every aspect. Like the other 50% of people that are not like real niggas support that action. Like take stance on that Chris Rock was in the wrong, and he shouldn't have said those jokes. But Jesus, like that was just a witty joke. It doesn't even get to that personal level. If he would have said like yeah, Jane, you fucking all the soldiers, you fucking the young soldiers, you fucking your best friend's son, soldier, fucking shit. That's some kind of, you know, like out of place, but it doesn't justify it. It doesn't justify. So moving along, there is always wrong and right, and people will take a stance here and then. So moving along with the submarine shit that happened later. The submarine shit. What about that bullshit, huh? The media, everybody knew, like everybody who had a clue how this shit works or whatever, which is I don't know, less than 25%. I mean, a quarter of the population that get to know about this. It was a massive coverage in the media, like TV, radio. I even heard on my local news station, in here, you know, in my country and all that. We kind of knew about this because it was like being pushed. So we're talking here what has a reach in terms of cultural knowledge, in terms of entertainment wise. This submarine incident that happened, uh, the people that were in the submarine were already dead. They were already dead, like immediately. Everybody that had some coverage, certain coverage, they already knew. They were just waiting for the confirmation. So they took like 5 days making news, writing stories, and that's some stupid shit, you know. That's why so many fucking writers get get no payment, because you could just put an AI to work or multiple AIs to work different stories about some kind of bullshit like this, and they'll move along. You know, those stories catch up. They just put it on web pages, articles, and magazines and shits and pictures on the internet, on social media wise, utilizing videos. You know, some guy speaking about the submarine, the Titanic, and many other things. You know. So what happened here? Another hypocrisy here happened. That so these guys are are into this business of extreme adventures. Okay, extreme adventures, and in search of excitement as never before. You know, these people have money. People have money, and they spend it like this. And that's okay, you know. But I'm not criticizing that, but I'm just going straight to the fact that they thought it was a good idea to rely on characteristics rather than skills to fucking manage the fucking submarine. So instead of employing some retired operators, which are some quoting white old boring fellas. That's what the fucking guy said. Like, and he decided to just fucking hire. I guess he was a gay guy, or maybe he wasn't gay. He was a bisexual person, but or whatever the fuck that motherfucker was. But he was a young fella and pretty much controlled that shit like you control your game console like PS3, Xbox, or I don't know. Nowadays, your PS is already on PS5, so PS5 and the Xbox. I don't know, man, but that's just funny. It's just funny because they made it last longer than it should have been. Like people close to the information even got to know that these people are dead. They were just they were just covering up something. I don't know what. It's just the way it is. I mean, entertainment does that shit. As a cultural as a cultural development podcast to introduce topics or to talk about certain things, it's something that you should have heard of. So you are gonna you I guess you have heard of the next one topic thing, the Transformers movie. The Transformers movie, the last ones with the beasts and traveling the world and recording scenes in Peru, which is my country right away in Peru. So let me tell you about that. Huh? It was a massive movie, a massive audience. They kind of felt at the moment that they brought the movie feeling back. They brought the excitement of a movie feeling back. I'm talking I'm talking here, especially in Peru, because I mean those areas where the movie was made. I mean the landscapes and all that. The cities are are quite known around here, but they are not visited. They are not considered at that level. So that welcoming the folks, the city folks, my fellows, um, Peruvians, uh, felt really appreciated, and the Hollywood people and the crew and everybody involved in the movie made it that way too. It was a reciprocal. It was a it was a 50-50 relationship that they developed, and it was a massive thing here in terms of the premiere, and it was really good. It was a phenomenon that kind of like switched things on movies, on cinema. And even though it's just CGI or special effects and it's not even real and shit, um, um, what is real nowadays? What is? Uh, it really developed a cultural entertainment knowledge in terms of people got to know the names of the characters. They pronunciate names of the characters as well. There was a lot of Spanish, Quechua, that is a native language around here, from our fellows of the highlands and our fellows from the past, the Incas, you know, and that was the exchange they had: the Spanish, the English, the Quechua, the cultural things that actually matter. Kind of like that stood behind the scenes or filming the movie, but the movie itself has landscapes and this and that and places of Peru, so it's enough for the people to go to to buy the tickets. And it's so I think it's sold really well. I mean, here it was a massive, here in Peru where I am at, it was a massive movie at the days that it began. And of course, you got the pirates there just streaming it or watching it online after a couple of weeks or just 1 week. But yeah, moving along. Something that already that happened not so long ago. It was the Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk fucking thing about about them fighting MMA, and that just pops up everywhere on the news. It was just a trend, a massive news that kind of like um, tried to build up something that it wasn't there, because these niggas don't have beef. I mean, this person, these persons, these people, These guys don't have beef. Like one has Twitter, the other one has Meta and all that shit, and much more money and larger companies and all that and whatever, you know. But one guy does stand for, let's say, freedom of speech and freedom of thought and whatever it's on his platform is like whatever, you know. He's not gonna track you back or police your speech or block you and make everything safe like a fucking dictatorship wise, you know, like because things can turn over real quick once you got that policing thing, that control over things, and like suddenly, well, from one day to another, you can change up from uh, conservatory risk uh, activities into actually prosecution and persecution of freedom of thought and freedom of speech. So I guess that's the build-up they were trying to do there with Suck and Musk fighting. But the guys are doing well. One of them, both of them, get together with champions, with MMA champions, with with that caliber of people, you know, of fighters, and it's not an unrealistic thing that could happen because if we're talking about numbers, this thing can sell, and it can really sell. So one topic related to that would be Ngannou, what Francis Ngannou is doing. He's gonna fight Tyson Fury in a boxing exhibition match. Uh, it's an official match of boxing. It doesn't. It is not an exhibition, but it it's the titles of Fury are not in game. You know, are not included if Francis win. They're not at risk. So kind of like selling a fight uh, wise. I think Francis is worldwide known, uh, and he's gonna do well. Also with Fury, they're gonna do well. They're gonna do pretty well. That it's gonna make more sense if Zuckerberg and Musk do actually fight, and even if they fight for like 3 rounds or just fight one fucking round. Uh, it's just a fighting thing that that that's the activity of entertainment, like top entertainment activity. It's either fighting or fucking or sucking. So it is what it is. Out there it's just pornography. There's the numbers of pornography in its all its aspects. It has like major fucking numbers and the news coverage and shit like that. So I guess kind of like BBC network and NBC and all the other networks, you know, like in terms of television wise, radio, newspaper, um, pornography actually competes with them hand to hand, or even I would say pornography is bigger than all those fuckers. That's what got them mad, because and of course, what can compete with pornography? What can compete with that is the action of fighting. So moving along with also fighting, what happened within Duplessis in the I'm talking about UFC, MMA. Keep talking about that, all right? About fighting. Duplessis KO'd Robert Whitaker. Duplessis beat him, and it was it was shocking. I mean, it was something that most people didn't expect, but as a fighter, as a fighting fan, it could have happened, but it was a surprise. Everything was, let's say, normal, like a fight, one win, one lose. What it wasn't normally was when Adesanya stepped on the cage and started calling him like he was drunk and he was mad about like him him being criticized about his origins, and Duplessis did well, and didn't have to do that like right there. I mean, the guy just beat uh, the the Reaper, and if anybody or you don't know anything about MMA, that guy Whitaker is a is a bad motherfucker. He's a bad motherfucker, and was cleaning the division, middleweight division in the UFC. And that guy just wanted to get back and fuck easy up, but it's Duplessis time now. So what it was weird, what it was uh, kind of like interesting entertainment knowledge, developing cultural exchange wise. It was he called him nigga like a bunch of times, and it was just out of place. Like I said, Duplessis didn't bite into that, but it was just so obvious that Adesanya has a. I mean, the guy cannot be criticized. Okay, I just think that he's playing the bad character like Colby did, like Colby is doing. I think he knows that maybe it's time to play a bad character, to play the bad guy. But it was just awkward. I don't know how you watch that. You you have that perception of what happened there, and in the interview, post-fight interview of Duplessis, and then Adesanya gets in and start calling me, I'm, yeah, let's do this, nigga. I'm your African brother, nigga. Nigga this, nigga that, nigga what, nigga how, nigga where, nigga when. And Duplessis was just like, I am African, and you might be, you might, I don't know what he said. I ain't no brother of yours, son. That's what he said, which really made him like look better, look class against Adesanya. But like I was saying, maybe it's Adesanya playing the bad guy. Maybe it's just Adesanya trying to sell tickets, trying to sell a fight. Maybe it's just Adesanya being himself, being awkward. The guy is a champion. The guy has a record that is just a fucking legend. Like right away, the guy did boxing, guy did kickboxing, and he's doing MMA. The guy has numbers. It's a fucking beast. So I wouldn't question him and as a fighter or as a person, but calling Duplessis a nigga, it was funny. It was funny and it was awkward. And let me tell you, for a moment there, I thought Duplessis was gonna smack him or he was gonna spit on him, because when you go up to to a person and like and insult them in that way, like sometimes, just sometimes, like some it's just sometimes if you're being attacked or the guy is attacking you, sometimes it's just better to stop saying the same word like nigga, 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 and just speed, just throw a speed, like. But that didn't happen. So some like before we said like 50% of people, 50-50%, let's say, stand with Adesanya, and the other 50 stand with Duplessis. Some have their views that Adesanya was wrong, and some of them have their views that Adesanya was right. Well, I mean, wasn't right. So well, that's it. Moving along. Oh, Dana White came in the conference after the whole event conference. He was being asked like, the, what happened there with the word. He was saying nigga this, nigga that, and like, who said that? Who said that? He was worried about who said that, because he might have been, I don't know. I mean, at that moment you would think maybe Connor did it, or maybe some, I don't know, like somebody he's really close with, like, and they was like, Adesanya did, and I was like, oh, okay, he's black, he can say whatever the fuck he wants. That was so funny, man. Like a president of the promotion putting putting cold waters into what it was boiling there, because The media are some pieces of shit, man. These journalists are some scumbags, some fucking scumbags. You don't not want to mess with these people because one word or one phrase you spit out of your mouth wrong, these motherfuckers would eat you alive and sell a story about you being racist, being gay, being bisexual, being a predator, being a fucking I don't know. You so moving along, the Barbie and Ken movie. This was recently, but before the Barbie and Ken movie, I would like to share something about that I just found out like 2 days ago about Tom Holland and this gay scene and the emasculation in culture. So I don't know what's going on in terms of coverage of these topics, but I do know that Tom Holland, as a person, as a guy, as a man, holds up a bigger picture than just himself and acting. So he became Spider-Man, and if anybody that has become Spider-Man, it's been iconic. It's been treated with respect. I mean, you got that idea. I mean, the public, we as an audience, have that idea of you. You are the Spider-Man. You are the Spider-Man. But after watching Tom Holland get fucked, get fucking his ass, it's like you're no longer Spider-Man, dude. Like you're a gay Spider-Man, and you're young. And I mean, I understand this. I don't know, agenda of entertainment from Hollywood wise, or these fuckers that rule the fucking world with their entertainment, streaming, and I don't want to call names, but whatever it is that's going on, they had to drop the masculine image of Tom, and Tom's a good guy. Tom's just just an actor, but a human being. You can tell that that guy isn't up to is isn't up to no good. The guy just wants to get paid, wants to live his life, just wants to be here, there, meet some people, and that's it. I saw him at a UFC event, and in of course on TV, and I thought this guy is interesting because he went there and met the people, talked to them, and 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 you know watch him being treated like this, and about the cold thing. I mean, what's going on? What if he goes out and fucks some bitches? Is that like he's holding his girlfriend or whatever, or does his girlfriend can call him, and we try to just drop him down his image because the guy has a presence. The guy has a good presence amongst men, amongst kids. He's looked up to in every fucking country, in most of generations that accept him as a good fella, as a role model to your kids. And now what? Suddenly he gets railed, he gets reared in a fucking movie, and now his girlfriend is fucking other man, and you call this guy a fucking cuckold? Is that what's going on? Fuck that, okay? Moving along. No disrespect to this Spider-Man, but the image of Peter Parker being Tom Holland is Peter Parker is no longer there. It's just now it has become that it has it is not fair, but that's what it is. It has lost that iconic thing or that presence that it had by being shown, made to do that scene where he gets penetrated in his asshole, you know, and doing assholey things with some other dude. Get out of here. So, uh, and yeah, the other part is just trying to depict him as a fucking cuckold. That's not right, okay? So moving along, the Barbie and Ken movie. But before we go for another movie, we should say something about the other movie that everybody it hasn't had a big coverage, a huge coverage like Barbie and Ken did. but it's actually known now that there are a lot of child trafficking and child labor and child things related to childs to children. So there is a lot of that shit that that conspiracy theorists and a bunch of other people were calling out since 9/11. So um, to get to that reach and point out the fact that there is a lot of evil out there in the world is, I think, is good. It's good to acknowledge that, and it's a good way to avoid the conversation. Because if anything, that shit has been happening forever, and I just have this suspicion that it's gonna become legal at some point, because or maybe it already is, where in countries where dictatorship models are being applied. I don't want to say the name, but like there's this country where like they have concentration camps, and I wouldn't be surprised if they would have children concentration camps. So just wanted to say that I for that matter I do condemn I support the movie, of course, and I want to be known out there that these kind of things happen, and maybe it's wise to question whether or not your children are safe or who you can trust with and shit like that, you know. But anyways, it comes down it all comes down to what decisions you make. Okay, so uh, once your children grow up, it's all right. Nothing is gonna happen to them in terms of that movie, but you gotta take notice that uh, the movie and the people who run behind that are trying to do something good, you know. And nowadays, doing something good at that level of let's say of entertainment, of movies or whatever, it's quite rare. So it's quite rare. So it's an historical thing. It's definitely a cultural developing cultural thing. There definitely it definitely is an entertainment knowledge thing between the Spanish and English worlds, because the movie is gonna be or it's already in works to be delivered and in Spanish and subtitles and all that. So uh, I guess it's quite a good thing that that should happen. Jim Caviezel, Mel Gibson did a quite good work calling people out and supporting the movie. And like I said, I stand. I personally, I stand. I've been brainwashed when I was growing up. So I stand with the conservatives. Okay, I don't understand. I don't stand with liberal people. Like I guess I did when I was brainwashed, but now I just stand with tradition. Okay, I stand with animal foods, and in terms of politics, I know for a fact that the Republicans were the ones that voted to abolish slavery. So if anything, I am with the Republicans, and I support conservatism and welcome conservative and Republican people. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. And about Barbie and Ken, um, I really, really, I was surprised about the fact that Barbie and Ken had the movie, and Ken was shown a lot. You know, Ken had a part of it. Like Ryan Gosling had a huge part of making Ken masculine, like a regular dude. Like you could relate to Ken in terms of even the jokes that the guy made about being Ken, Kenning this, Kenning that. It was just funny to see a fella uh, having to behave himself around his girlfriend. Is that happens to everybody, happens to all of us. And it was just nice to see how his presence uh, took over the screen, because the movie was about Barbie. The title is Barbie, Margot Robbie, and all this and that. But watching Ken having that presence and solidifying a masculine image on a screen worldwide, uh, with their agendas today, entertainment has, it was impressive. It was something that I didn't expect to have that kind of impact at a major level of audience, and people are looking up to watching another Barbie movie. Like, just see the guys hanging out, like, probably, and before these fuckers get older and their faces start to fall, their teeth start to get all crampy and shit like that. Before the people have to do surgeries and shit, they should do another fucking movie and focus on Ken more. And I think if they do that, they're gonna have more success than having a fucking Barbie movie. But yeah, okay, that's the end of the podcast. I'll see you on the next episode.